Good evening, everyone. How you doing? It's been a little while, hasn't it? 2 weeks missed. Oh God, I've got a lot to catch up on this evening. Yeah, I've got a list here. We'll work through it. As ever, I think it's overdue that there's no doubt a few questions you'd all like answering. So as ever, you can start firing those in. But for now, let's roll that intro. So I hope you're all well. We've been enjoying some pretty glorious weather, haven't we? And on top of that, I mean, it's had a bit of overdue rain this week. I think, not been enjoying that, to be honest. But it's crazy. And the big one is coming tomorrow. I'm going to be boarding that flight over to Japan, and spawning time is with us after the ups and downs already have been absolutely crazy. Given that we were game on, and then the fish took ill, then before I know it, she's circling the drain, and she's come back. But as she's come back, obviously what NND had to or Fujo, the ponds he'd planned, he'd already had to do another spawning and filled them. But the guys have pulled it out. So pretty crazy that I fly tomorrow. I arrive in Japan on Friday. That afternoon, I'll be picking the male fish, and then on Saturday putting it all together. And by Sunday, they could possibly be. And I say possibly still. I'm back in all that if phases. There could be fertilized eggs there, and yeah. The journey will have really begun at that point. It's absolutely crazy. So keep everything crossed for me, please. And there's I've actually managed to drop as well. You can watch it probably when you're done. If you're tuned in and watching me now, to stay here and watch it after. Just dropped a quick journal update on the channel as well. So yeah. A few bits in there, a bit of a look round, a couple of the greenhouses as well. And I've actually been sorting today. It took a little while to get around to it, but if those observant ones on the channel may well remember, back in December I selected some of those Goshki Sanki from Kibi. It's his speciality. He's the first guy I know of who's actually stabilized that variety, and he allowed me to select from a fresh batch of Tosai, which was awesome. Now, add them in the whole pond, mixed in with some condo fish. The whole thing's they've been quite hard. Some severe sleeping sickness getting them around, but now since they've come round and started, they're absolutely flying. So the base of the video, I'll get a bit of a look into them, because I will be dropping them out for sale very, very soon. I think they're cool, and it's one of them a little bit like with a little bit like with Golden Corn, in that you're going to love them or you hate them. They will divide opinion, but they are built off a solid foundation. This was actually a Sakai Marido cross for the actual Sankey part of it. Pretty crazy, and they get size. His expectation of Nisai is sort of 60 cm. I can see it in the body setup, very big bodies on them, and all the Goshki quality there as well. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, have a look at that when you're done on here. And the growing ponds, they're just worth a look round anyway. So that's that bit out of the way. Of course, start getting any questions in, guys, while I'm nattering and catching up. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, and the trip. So if all goes to plan, going to be 2 weeks for the trip. If the spawning doesn't go to plan, I'll actually be planning on changing my flight and coming home a week earlier. So it'll be 2 weeks if it all happens. it's just crazy, isn't it? I think it's probably really going to hit me tomorrow, because I get sat on that plane and realize what could potentially be happening. Even just getting to see that fish again in the flesh, it's just a beastly thing, isn't it? So yeah, and then it's what the rest of this year then looks like, if that is successful, and all the agony that also could come from this. Anyway, bonkers. I'm just debating whether I turn this into its own video series or I just keep them in the journal format. They're just little things. I'm thinking it could be nice to potentially document this whole thing end to end separately, maybe in a little bit of a different way. Feel free to let me know what you think about that anyway in the comments. But mad. Anyway, that's that one. Next one up. Now, you'll have heard me mention this before, but we're there this time. It's all set. It's all done. The channel, you may well have noticed, is on the climb to 10,000 subscribers, which is, it's just mad. It's really mad from where it all started, the speed at which it is growing as well. The reach of the channel is huge when we look at it in the analytics. Subscribers are just one part, but it does help in the whole distribution of the content. So if you are watching it and you're not a subscriber, get subscribed. And there's a very good reason for it. When the channel does hit 10K, we're going to do a mega prize draw. All the prize draws promised before are all going to get rolled in to this one. There's the signed copy of Koi signed by the whole Marido family, got his picture on the cover. We've got Koi related items, Saki Akari, Koi vouchers to use on Koi Online. The whole lot, you know. I've got little bits of merchandise. We've got just a huge bundle of stuff. So the way you participate, we're going to do the draw when the channel, so the next available live when the channels hit 10,000 subscribers, we'll do the draw. But get yourself in the description to here is a link to join our mailing list. There's email and text. If you join both of them, you're going to get 2 entries into the draw as well. Because I think WhatsApp, we're kind of outgrowing the capacity of WhatsApp a little bit for sharing updates and whatnot. So we need to kind of get somewhere that can handle the volumes a little bit more. So get yourself in there, join the link, and you'll automatically be entered. Like I say, if you're in the mailing list once, if you join the text one as well, you'll be entered twice. And then when we do hit that magical number, we'll get it done and get some prizes distributed. Mark Kondo Growout, yes, I did share an update recently, and finally the lads are photographing the fish this week. Then we're going to get a date set. We'll pretty much be at the point where the little additional period's done. Guys, you get your fish picked, and we'll get those distributed. So yeah, that's that one. Happy days. Be nice to give back, and I'm not going to hold back on this one. It's going to be a big prize draw. So get involved, guys. There we go. That's that one. I'll get some questions in a minute. Two more. Sakamaki growout. I think a lot of you might have seen this already, but we set up a growout event, which we wanted to do. So everything we've done generally has been quite high price tagged, because generally it involves a certain batch of fish. I had a batch, however, that really got me inspired. Really young batch from Sakamaki. When I got them, they were like 9 to 12 cm. And I looked at them, I thought there's a real challenge and skill to picking fish that size. To the point, honestly, even first glance, I looked at them and I had to slap myself and go, come on, you know what you're looking at here. They're just that raw. And I've got a bit more size on them now. And I looked at them and I thought, you know what, perfect as a challenge for people to select them, try and find something that will progress, real skill, real challenge for someone's eye. So I thought we'd put it together in a grow out event. All the details are on the website. Basically, it's £125 a go. And it also was aimed at bringing more people in to experience these events that we do, because they are great fun. It's got an online selection format, which is You join a special live event for it. We've got the spin the wheel to decide the picking order. You'll have all the pictures in advance of that, so you can do all your homework. And trust me, from the ones that we've done, like the NND, Mud Pond, Kohaku, all them bits, it's good fun, really good fun. That I then grow the fish on. I think I said until the end of August, so there's plenty of time there with good water temperatures to get them introduced to your pond and carry them on growing for a little while. And actually, at the end of it, there's going to be the judging side of it with 3 prizes, and it's actually 3 cash prizes as a reward for, you know, your skill in selection there. So it's £500 for the grand champion. I think we've got £250 for the reserve champion and £150 for their best Tatigoi. And obviously, that aside, you should hopefully have a banging fish at the end of it. So again, if you're interested in taking part and you've not got your ticket already, there was 90 spots, 94 fish to choose from. There were 90 spots. I think at the last time of looking, since the initial release at the weekend, there's about 28 places left available on that. So they're on the Koi Online website, and the link is in the description for it. But like I say, I think a great way to experience it. And it's nice to bring more people in to get a chance to have a go. So we've got that bit. And then the very last one. This is something we've been trying to get to this for such a long time. But June 21st on Saturday, we are having a open sale event at the unit that we've got. So this is just a save the date. We did get close with this before, but the fish, the temperatures, everything, it just wasn't coming together. We've actually got our Takano Sankey Part 2 event on the Sunday, but on the Saturday, this is just going to be doors open. Got a crazy selection of Tosai, all going to be available there for you to pick and take away on the day. So with me and all the team, full details and information will be coming out on this, rolled out, be in the mailing list, website, WhatsApp, you name it. But this is just if you're interested in coming along, save the date. So yes, happy days. Please come along, support it. Be great to put names to faces. And I've got some really, really cool fish lined up for it that I think needed to be seen in the flesh. And it's stuff at all price points. I mean all price points. So I like to be as inclusive as inclusive as possible in everything I do. That aside, I think I've yapped on enough there. So yeah, let's get stuck into some questions, guys. And it's not going to be, I've not got a full hour tonight because with my pending trip, I've got an appointment with my barber at 8. So I've got a little scoot across town for that one, get sorted out. Apparently I've been getting a bit beardy. So yeah, get that seen too. I think with some temperatures out there as well. I don't want, need to cut this back a bit. Could get a bit aggravating. Right, let's see what we've got. I'm going to roll through in order. So Darren, first of all, hi Ricky, watching your Sakamaki grow on selection. I noticed there was several tensions. Oh, that's it. Sorry, there's a video on the channel as well if you've not seen it already. And I've had to play around with something different. So we got the multicam set up, so you could see the full selection as I was going along. So you could also kind of do it along with me, have a look, see what you're picking versus what I'm picking. And yeah, so several tanchos which you didn't select. Can you explain what you saw to reject these? With those, it was likely the quality of the spot. I don't like growing tanchos anyway. They're very difficult. And from that size, I'm looking for some very specific criteria. Obviously, when I'm doing any kind of grow out event, I am picking fish that I know from all my experience have the best chance to actually turn into something, develop, not just lose all their color. That's really important because it's disappointing. Although we generally cover against it, it's still disappointing. With tanchos like that, they're a little bit high risk when I put them, especially in that intense environment. If they're growing steady, like in an unheated pond, it makes such a difference, honestly. But I put them in there, most of the time they just become nothing. And I think if I remember right, a lot of the spots were just nowhere near where I'd want them to be, investing that extra time in them. Plus, tanchos just don't do a lot for me in general. Big tanchos, I've seen stuff, Danichi Sakai, 90 plus, crazy things, yeah, all of a sudden you go fair play because you get the real body element kick in. But small ones, I'm not particularly that buzzed about. Good evening, Ricky. Just want to say big thank you to you and the team. Great collection of koi on Sunday and add a bonus today. Yes, absolutely, Mickey. Oh, yeah, we had our NND Koaku Part 2 event on Sunday as well. Guys got to see them. Those tosai were nuts, up to 40 centimeters at 12 months old and looking pucker. Big change from when the guys selected them for that. Yeah. Nice to see. Always nice to see. Oh, there we go. Terence's question started up there. Hi, Ricky. Can blanket weed consume medication? I consume it. I wouldn't have thought so. Being honest, I don't actually know if that's a thing. What it will do, it's just another kind of organic in the water, something else that will impact with your medication. But it's going to be probably no less or no more harm than having really high organics in your water and what that can do with the medication. So yeah, I'm not going to say that's not something I particularly I've ever even thought about, to be honest with you, because blanket weeds, yeah, I mean, mine is managed by the fish always, generally because of the stocking levels. So unfortunately, and I just never looked into blanket weed that much. I don't like a lot of the blanket weed treatments out there, especially the ones that really seem to go in, blitz everything, and leave your pond walls dead. That bothers me. But yeah, I can't answer that one in detail, Terence. Surprise you there, mate. But yeah, not a subject I've really got massively into. Okay, good evening, everybody. Absolutely, Craig. It's just nuts, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. We will see. And you know, if it doesn't all pan out, it's at least it's the start of the journey. Because if you've probably learned by now, I don't let up very easily. So it's getting started. I'm treating it as a bonus anyway, because I weren't expecting it ever to happen this year. I thought we'd be looking at next, but game on from here. Andy's desperately after my. You may well remember that absolute unit of a mail shower I've got from NND. He's getting a bit obsessed, but yeah, 2 grand might have been tempting, but on a DK Shiro, mate, absolutely no chance. Okay. No, this is not an auction, Neil. I'm just here to share and educate, pal, at the moment. Evening, Marcus. Craig saying here. Honestly, I think they're cool. I always like something different, but I keep saying it. I like them to be backed up with some credibility, and he really has built this properly. Yeah, right in, mate. Wow. I wish I could get the calm in my head for it, buddy. So Craig reckons a separate journey, separate sporting. Yeah, I think I'd actually banded Fujo, me and Fujo having a brainstorming idea, and he quite liked something along the lines of my dream to become a koi breeder in Japan series. So I might leave that one till I'm sat down with the boss man and he can have his say as well. Oh dearie me. Yeah, well, again, I mean, temperature fluctuation still, we are getting them warmer. Mornings are warming up slightly at the minute, which is good, which is going to really slow that down and stabilize temperatures a bit more. Cool, right, here we go. Question, I think. Great. Let's have a look. Hello, Ricky. What are the best changes you've seen in the koi industry since you started? Been watching for years now. Thank you for all the information, you legend. Thank you. Best changes. You've got me there. I tell you what, I'm just going to bounce this back right now. I mean, everybody watching this, a lot of people's been into it a while. What changes have you noticed around? I'd be curious to know that as well, to be honest. Hmm. If I zoom out and look at the koi industry as a whole worldwide, I would possibly say that the best changes I've seen is just the ramp up. I mean, we can't forget that the Chuetsu earthquake pretty much wiped Niigata out back. I can't remember the year it was. It was a long time ago, and it really, it has to rebuild. It had to rebuild. Parent fish were wiped out. Bloodlines were wiped out. They almost, had to start again. Reserve supplies of older fish, everything had to be built up. Numbers of fish for 2 or 3 years after it were quite crazy. I remember it very well. And we now get to today where the guys are just on it constantly. Golden corn now, Goshki Sankis. There's so much everywhere, so much new stuff coming up all the time. That's energizing because I think it's so important and it's just good fun seeing everything that they can concoct and produce and bring out, and actually being here, seeing a lot of that new stuff all come to fruition. Over the time I've been in it, I don't really think I've seen that as much. There's something else come as one breeder's working on as well. It's a version of a variety I love. I've managed to get my hands on some. They come in because I had a big shipment in last night. They've come in. I'm sitting tight on it for a minute, but my God, I'm excited for them. So I think that's for koi hobbyists. It's nice to have that new stuff come in. It's something else to learn about, watch, study, and I think in recent years it's been the absolute best it's ever been. Certainly when I look back to how it was back then and how far it's had to come. New breeders coming about, different mindsets, different thoughts. So I think that's probably, I don't necessarily say it's a change. The period before the earthquake that I remember, it wasn't a massive amount of time. There wasn't that much new coming out. I don't think to the extent that it is now. We had if I look kind of pre that, metallic Deutsche Chiba, Deutsche Kagane from Kase when he created that. Kikukuru, Benny Kikukuru, believe it or not, when I just started, was just created by Aoki and Kaze. Again, them guys were quite instrumental in a lot of that. So there was stuff, but I think it's really, every year somebody seems to be trying something. At the minute, there's another guy, I'm not going to mention it, I've just seen it in the Tosai I've got this year. I seem to think he's attempting his own version of a golden corn. Just looking at what's in there, unless he's got a different idea going on, looking at some particularly, I mean, they're not particularly exciting looking fish, but what's in there, I'm looking going, yeah, he's up to something. And it's quite fun when we see these things. I start trying to pick out what they might be doing. Yeah, brilliant. So that would be my answer, but I am really curious to for you guys to comment on that as well and tell me what you think the biggest changes are or have been maybe in recent years, longer term. Yeah, be curious. Harry got a new Benny Kikuru from Marasaki in April, which has nearly lost all its Benny, heated at 22. Can you give insight into Benny on Deutz? Yeah. So the biggest thing, Benny on Deutz, I mean, it's what makes them so fun. It's what makes big, good examples valuable. It's very hard. The biggest thing I look for is consistency of colour across head and body. And when I say consistency, I mean looking for anything, a little break in it, something that might be alarming, because you can't read the color in the same way as you can on, say, Go Sanki, where we've got Sashi and Kiwa. In element, you see some Deutsch fish with a bit of Sashi sometimes. It's very, very rare, though, that happens. And for me, over the years, you still get a high fail rate. Breeders do. The likes of Shinoda would do with Deutsche Go Sanki. Marasaka will, because all those metallic varieties he's producing, it's all the same. It's so difficult to read the color. So yeah, there's not really too much I can give on that. It's just ultimate consistency with it. And, the more heavy and blocky the pattern, I would say you're potentially lowering your risk at that point, especially as young toe side, and really sparse patterns can be an indicator that there's even potentially been color loss come before it as well. But unfortunately, it is one of the risks of those varieties. You do roll the dice a little bit because they don't give us the same tells as the other varieties. I guess you need to add one on the fourth panel. I'll move that to the third. Fair enough. Right, let's have a look. Julian's running out of pond space, but keep it coming. Always, mate, always. See, the problem is, unless I get them going and out the door, I can't keep buying them, so I can't fuel my addiction without you lot fueling your addictions, you see. It's how the cycle works. It's madness. Humble Koi there saying, yeah, the Colombo Algocin, if I ever use it, is the blanket weed treatment that I use. It's very, I would say delicate is the word. Doesn't go in and just absolutely blitz everything and leave your walls dead. Because don't forget how important getting a small coating of algae on them walls, so important for your fish. Really is. I've got a problem with my koi. Several of them are really veiny, constantly testing params, treating weekly with pond detox. Oh, here we go. Got 2 medium big blues, one with Kelly, second with bone char, straight load of times, but I haven't found anything, running out of ideas. Any suggestion? How veiny, Joe? We're looking, what's the fish behavior? Are they flashing, jumping, hanging? Have you got any of that? So I'm just rereading through it all as we speak. What kind of testing have you done? Has it started since you've been adding anything new? Just, patterns, need a bit more information there to figure out, what was the cause? Did you start using the pond detox because you had this problem beforehand? There'd be all the questions that I would be asking with that one. Presumably you've chlorine tested. Yes, you have. I can see that. Okay, fair enough. And yeah, just how veiny. It could be light exposure. Are they getting a lot of sunlight at the minute? Because it will get them. If you've got crystal clear water and this heavy UV beating down, you're not going to get that shiroji looking absolutely crisp. And there's just levels to it. There's a subtlety of veining and stress, which is just, it could be something minor like that. And there's the veininess that comes from illness, which is then normally coupled by excessive mucus or a lack of mucus because it's being blitzed by parasites. So yeah, feel free to give me a bit more info there, Joe. Evening, Alan. Your new merch. I'm just saying nothing anymore. I've not even got the workwear around to getting that sorted. So let's see. Right now, our top priority is obviously we sold a lot of fish over winter, done, and everything that we're doing is keeping our commitments to people without taking on more new stuff, and really building out these systems behind the scenes. Staff just working, keeping everybody happy. It's pretty intense and full on, as well as managing all the fish. You name it. There's a lot going on that you don't really see. And yeah, all the stuff. One thing that always is, I always get there with stuff, but I've learned not to, and I don't like half-arsing anything. I could have got it done in no time. There's these services you can do, which is just print on demand, but not a chance. What I can say, however, is the test run batch of stuff I had has been so well tested by now. I know exactly the stuff to go for and not to go for. So in that respect, I'm happy. It's just getting around to getting a run done with that and a few design tweaks. The big one that's been kind of all consuming recently is our boxes, because I've always, as Koi Wholesale, had these bespoke board that I used really strong stuff, and all nicely printed and done. So I've had it's all gone to print today. Epic new box designs for the Ricky Stoddart Nishikigoi and Koi Online brands, which no doubt quite a lot of you will be getting to see very soon. It's been upsetting me with the plain ones we've been using just recently. It's not the way I like to do things. Normally that's probably 50%, depending on time of day. You've got air source, heat pump at 20 degrees. I think the only other suggestion, Joe, is with this one, I need to see it. Feel free to WhatsApp me, drop me a picture over somewhere if you can get one zoomed in for me to assess the level, because this is what I found. It could be something I look at and go, well, that's nothing. Stop stressing about it. If all the general fish behavior and everything else is good, then I don't think there's it could be something very minor, or even not something that would even cross my mind when I'm looking at a batch of fish in particular. Marge documentary, yes, yeah, another one into it. Jesus Christ, I've got two. I've got the trailer and the thing all on my laptop, the low res version, so that I can watch it. It's needing a couple of finishing touches from me, and it's mainly text based stuff for some of the cards in between it all. So fingers crossed, I can get that signed off with Aaron and get to release on it. Talk about biting off more than I can chew with that one, though. That has been vast. But in recent weeks, it's just been, you probably noticed we've been putting a lot of videos out on the channel. So it's been as much as I say, right, Aaron, we need to get that done. He's absolutely editing and shooting footage like a maniac, keeping all that out. So with that then stacked on top, it's like, which one do you choose? Best change in body development. Got an old book and bodies were well off 20 to 30 years ago compared to now. Yeah, I gear that, Craig. I think development of bloodlines, year on year, it's pretty crazy stuff these days. And development in filtration systems, I'd say. Carl, I've recently seen a video of someone super gluing a pec fin back together. Is this something that is normal, or is better to let split fins heal naturally? Yeah, gluing, stitching, both sides of it, it can help. I've seen it done all ways. I've experimented with different ways myself. I always used to like the fins to grow out. What I've seen more and more with the big splits, just letting them grow out naturally can often lead to you'll get full regrowth back, but it can lead to a misshape. So when you've got all the rays of the bones in the fin like that, you can often get, you normally quite, as the fin spreads, yeah, they mainly increment a little bit, but when you get the splits, you can end up with one kind of like going like that, look, and it's, yeah, not great. So, and there's instances, front rays, split front rays, generally, if you're not getting some way of reattaching that quite quickly, there's a chance they can break that bone. When that's broken, it's gone. So yeah, I'm starting to sway more towards intervention with that stuff in order to get the quality of the repair as good as possible. Tony, introduction of K1 fluid buys bed. I'll give you that one, Tony. Absolutely. Yeah. Has been for me. It's a core fundamental part of my koi keeping philosophy now as well. K1 fluidized beds. So yeah, absolutely. I still remember now the first time I saw a K1 Nexus filtered pond and just saw the difference in behavior and happiness versus what then was kind of multi-bays with the dominant force. And I realized there was something, quite special about that system then. Hey, Ricky. Started feeding Saki 50-50 colour and growth, but noticed a hint of secondary Benny on the gill of my Marido Sankey. Can you suggest for a back of colour food I could reverse the process? Possibly. Not always. It's not even necessarily because of the colour food, Rob. It can be a maturity thing. It can be something that's there. But generally, if it is there, age and then assistance with color food can push it out. Generally, when it's out, it depends, as this sound crazy, if it's actual color materializing back through or if it is proper secondary color. Proper secondary color, it tends to be lighter and messier, and that can be responsive. I.e., if something's triggered it, you remove the thing that's triggered it, it can sit back down. But yeah, it's, again, without seeing that, it's hard for me to advise exactly. But again, it's not really answering it. It's 50-50 depending on the type of secondary that it is to whether or not it would come back. In that instance, generally my attitude is to think, well, it's there. There's not a lot you can do about it. So carry on with the feeding because it's to the benefit of everything else and not just focusing on that one fish. When you scrape fish, do you use some sedate in the bowl to de-stress the fish? Generally, it depends what fish, Darren, to be honest. Little fish, no, I just get on with it. Obviously, I'm pretty decent at handling the things. So anesthetizing it would be, yeah, just slow me down. But bigger fish generally always, because I just don't want to fight one to get the sample and potentially do damage. There's just no point to it. And if you're not that confident in handling fish, I would always advise doing that because it saves stress all around for you and for them. Even though our fluke's starting to get immune to current treatments available on the market, and how soon would you put the UV on after a PP treatment? Actually, generally, I don't. When I'm using it, I don't turn the UV off. But with what I'm doing with PP at the moment, again, having amazing results still, yeah, I'm generally having. I had a batch yesterday I was treating, and I had to neutralize it in the end because after 3.5 hours, I think it was still as purple as when it went into the pond. So I'd neutralize it at that point. I still think this whole thing here is around dosage, accurate dosing as well, and preparation for treatments. UVs have an impact more so on other treatments, but I mean, with the amount of time, the reactions people get with PP, it'd have been pointless turning the UV off anyway. And yeah, with flukes again, I say I think strength of treatment is one thing, and then underdosing on top of that as well, and then lack of good preparation for a treatment. I think the whole package combined is where a lot of the problems truly sit. Oh, so very quickly. I guarantee I'll probably be having some that night, mate. Gotta start getting me filling. Yeah, proper obsession. Best change is being able to access quality koi from respectable dealers without leaving the house, especially in Cornwall. My nearest dealer is over 100 miles away. Very good point. I like that one. It's the availability of good quality fish at reasonable prices to enjoy growing on. Yeah. Hi, Ricky. Currently listening in while looking down my microscope. One thing I always find a bit tricky is getting a decent sample of mucus when doing scrapes. Any tips on getting a decent sample? That can be a good and a bad thing, because generally, if you are getting thick, heavy mucus off, that's not a good thing. If you can't get any because the body's dry and sandpaperish, that's also not a good thing. But if you're in between it and it feels like there's a healthy slime coat there, and as you're going to scrape it, you're not getting a lot, that is generally a sign you've got fairly or very healthy mucus. So that would be my tip. If it's on the sandpapery end, no, there's not a lot more you can do other than get what you can. When I scrape, I always tend to flip them over, and I primarily scrape the belly and then get a bit off the flank, because generally from flashing, the belly is an area that they can't get to very easily, and I do like to just get a little bit from around the gill plate as well. Right, guys, I reckon I've got about 5 minutes left, so let's see how many we can rip through at that point. Hey, Richard. If you fish spawn this weekend, how quick would they be into the UK October? Yeah, it would be. There might even be some before that. Really got a lot to kind of plan on what we do because there will be. I want to be strict and focus on quality, which will mean being very strict in the selection. Now, if there will be probably be towards the end of it a selection that if I can get them fished at UK fast enough, I'll be able to keep hold of those fish. But either way, so there could be two lots. There could just be the one. Either way, into October, if it all goes to plan, I expect to have them over here, getting them settled. And that's just crazy to even say that. It really is. Hi Ricky, what do you think causes the blue on a Shisui to fade? I have a feeling it might be because of low KHGH. No, it's generally because the blue is not a true color. It's sort of they tend to be more white, the skin these days. They'll start off more blue when they're younger, and you've got sort of translucent skin because typically you think Shisui, it's a saggy kind of lineage. You've got that young skin, and the kind of blue comes from black sat under there. But as they mature, the white skin thickens and the blue goes away. So it's not really a super true color in koi. Saggy more so, but again, you notice they darken up. But their skin is thicker generally when they're younger because you've got the scales as well. Right, I'm just trying to find a couple more questions out the list. Someone asking about bicarb dosage gauge. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I literally, it's one of them things that work like sodium sulfate. I've got a scoop, and I know what I need to use in any given pond and circumstance. Oh, look at that. Keith's there. He's got his what was his unsection over the heel. Sorry, looks to be female, but the males have had a sniff bit. Sounds of it. Let's have a look. Hi, Ricky. Quick question. If you cannot afford sake, can you recommend a substitute food in budget? So I think this is when I do generally refer to the community on this one for others that have tried other stuff for their opinions and feedbacks on this one. I think if there was another one I could recommend, I'd probably be using it in some point. I have said in the past, I believe Takazumi is a good, well-made food. It's certainly very popular in England. EA Growth is another good one from the past that I've used. I just generally stop because the choice in the range is not adequate enough for me with various things. But it was quite impressive in what it did. So it probably be those ones. But I think the community, our Telegram community, is a great place to speak to them guys, see what they're doing, and other stuff that they're using as well. And again, I think there'll be a link to that in the description if you do want to join it. Still, the heat pump channel is the demon on that. I think the advice and knowledge shared in there is just fantastic. I think Craig's even mentioning that down there. Look. Right, I don't think I probably have missed some in there. Just remember, there's a lot going on in that thread when I look at it. Best thing I've done for my koi is heating the pond and auto feeding. Yeah, it's if you can get to it, honestly, it is a game changer for your hobby. That I can absolutely assure you. Oh, there we go. I did miss that one. Last one, then, folks. What are the possibilities of newly introduced fish lying on their sides when the fish already in there are completely fine in an unheated pond, transitioning from permanent heated to outdoor? Maybe 100%. That sounds like they don't like whatever change has occurred there. It's a stress reaction. You need to check for parasites first and foremost. If there are no parasites, it could be something viral that's triggered from mixing. So with no parasites present, my advice there, if you're unheated, would be to salt up to around 0.4, 0.5% for a couple of weeks. and then slowly bring that down from there. It'll just help, but that is severe stress that's hit that fish to be at that point. Maybe it's had a temperature drop too quickly or something along them lines. So yes, there we go. Right, guys, that's me. I'm going to go and get me mop chopped and then throw a few things in me old door, and away we go. So plan is that Aaron, I'll be like on the last trip, sending updates daily if possible, if there's enough stuff to cover, and he'll be getting them pretty much done and out there ASAP. So I can't wait to bring you along on this journey with me. Regardless of how it goes, this is just the start of what's going to come over the next 20 years. Absolutely. I don't see it going any other way. So thank you for everybody who has tuned in this evening. And let's say the events, all the links and stuff you need are all in there. So hopefully get to see a fair few of you at our open sale event on the 21st. Say we'll get the details out on that. And then the Sakamaki growout, if you do want to get involved, that's only open until Sunday, at which point we've got to process everything ready for the live selection event. So there we go. Thanks for everyone who sent in your questions. Apologies if I've missed anything. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening.